look at the track record on how I've spent my professional time, I have been an advocate for making sure that people are treated fairly. The Illinois Supreme Court Committee appointed me to be on the Illinois Supreme Court Committee on Equality. The Illinois Supreme Court appointed me to be a commissioner on the Commission on Professionalism, where we specifically look at some of the issues of inequity and lack of access to justice. That's how I've lived my adult life. That's how I've spent my professional career. And that's the kind of Attorney General that I will be for the people of Illinois.
Erika Natalie Louise Harold was Miss Illinois in 2002, Miss America in 2003. Her pageant platform was combating bullying. By 2014, she was a candidate for the Republican primary for the 13th Congressional District seat in the state of Illinois, ultimately losing the nomination to her incumbent, Rodney Davis. 2018 election, she was the Republican nominee for the Illinois Attorney General. Harold was born February 20th, 1980, is an American attorney and former Miss America. She graduated from the University of Illinois Phi Beta Kappa with a BA in politics, with a BA in political science, and was a Chancellor Scholar. In 2007, she received her JD from Harvard Ames moot court semifinal and final rounds of competition. She has worked in Chicago, Illinois as an associate attorney at Sidney Austin LLP and at Burke, Warren, Mackley, and Saratella. Correct me if I'm wrong. Excuse my language. She later was a commercial litigation attorney for Mayer Capel law firm in Champaign, Illinois. Then in 2002, she was appointed by the Illinois Supreme Court as executive director of the Commission on Professionalism. Well, now that we know she is not just beauty, she is also qualified with brains to hold it down in public service. Let's see more. Let's see her in action. Editor, roll clip. Fair use.
And here they are supporting each other to the end. One of you will win a $40,000 scholarship to continue your education. The other will win a $50,000 scholarship. The crown, the title, and the job, Miss America 2003. Ladies, the first runner-up, winner of a $40,000 scholarship is Miss Alabama, Scarlett Dupree. Miss America 2003 is Miss Illinois, Erika Harold.
He's joining us now. Erika Harold herself, good morning.
Good morning, thank you for having me.
So Erika, take us back, just let us connect the dots a bit. So from Miss America, you then went to Harvard, and it was there, oddly enough, that you found your own Republican roots, true?
When I was a student at the University of Illinois, that's when I knew I was a conservative. And then when I was at Harvard Law School, I had the good fortune of studying constitutional law and really developed an appreciation for our country's constitutional framework.
So how are you now, going to get around in your mind the Chicago style of politics there? And I know you're outside of that, but certainly there is a perception to be avoided, some would say.
It's so true. One of the things that's helpful is that I come from outside of the political establishment, so I would be able to go to Washington, D.C. with a sense of independence and be able to challenge and speak to power when necessary. And speaking to people throughout the district, people are really tired of politics as usual, and I think that we can do a lot better.
Erika, let me ask you something. As a woman and as a Republican, is there pressure for you to sort of take to the other side of the political aisle?
I know that when people look at me, they usually assume that I'm a Democrat. But when I talk about my values and standing firm on the Constitution, I explain that those are really the values that can really empower women, especially economically.
But we're not hearing that, right? So we hear a lot about how Republicans are anti-woman, the attack on women. Tell us what people are missing out there about the Republican Party and their message for women, for minorities in this country.
Well, so often we hear about the supposed war on women, but when you look at the party's fundamental principles, empowering the individual, limiting government, limiting taxation, those are principles that really empower women.
It's no secret that I'm pro-life, but it's also no secret that I have stated from the very day that I announced my candidacy that the job of the Attorney General is to uphold and enforce Illinois law. That is the specific statutory responsibility and constitutional obligation that you have. And I think it's important that people understand the job of the Attorney General, because it's not you making decisions about whether you agree with a particular law or not. It's about you embracing the role that you have within our system of governance to defend Illinois law, the constitutionality of it if it's challenged, and to do so with respect to the views that the General Assembly articulated when it enacted a particular piece of legislation. That's the way this job is supposed to be effectuated.
Good evening. I'm extremely honored to have been included as one of the 10 under 40, and I'd like to thank the American Conservative Union for this distinction. Each of us has our own unique story of how we came to be a conservative and how we became passionate conservative activists, and I'm honored to be able to have the opportunity to share mine with you this evening. I didn't grow up in a political home. I actually became a conservative when I was a college student at the University of Illinois. Now, I recognize that college is not the place where most people become conservatives, but I was studying political science and American history, and I had the opportunity to study our nation's foundational documents for myself: the Constitution, the Declaration of Independence, the Federalist Papers. And I began to compare our country and our freedoms with countries where the government has more centralized power. And it quickly became apparent to me that those countries where government is centralized power, they are less prosperous, and the people's civil liberties are not protected. And in countries like ours where we have limited government, the country is more prosperous economically, and people's civil liberties are respected. And I began to marvel at the genius of our Constitution. I wasn't seeking to find a political philosophy, but all of a sudden I realized I had one. I was a conservative, a constitutional conservative.
Hey guys, it's Jose, your regular Joe Blow again, keeping an eye out and my ears open to not just beautiful, but mixed with brains. Wow, work ethic and tenacity. Ma'am, full salute. Much respect, much respect. Thank you. I hope also gives hope for all the young ladies to take your work to inspire their future. Again, for your service, bless you and your family. And guys, can't wait to bring you more. Stay tuned. Thank you for the support. As always, remember, stay free.